So my name is Renata Iociene and I'm Application Engineer of Tools for Revit. Today we have a web session about Revit content management and accessibility. First, I would like to say a few words about our company. AGA-CAD is the pioneer in development of Autodesk Revit add-ons and professional BIM software for AC fields. We are gold partners of Autodesk, and we have authorized training and certification centers, and we are Autodesk authorized developers. At the moment we have sold more than 5,000 commercial licenses, and we have more than 5,000 free smart browser licenses that are used in about 45 countries. Our main web pages AGA-CAD.com and toolsforrevit.com. We are operating since 1991, and we have departments in programming, project management, training, consulting, and sales. And this is our main team that works with Tools for Revit. Our main goal is to eliminate the waste of time and increase your work productivity working with Revit. Here you can find the list of the products that we have at the moment. We can divide all of them into 7 main parts. In the top corner there is MEP Engineering Pro. Here you can find 4 products. One goes for fire protection projects, this smart sprinklers, then one goes for ear terminals with the name Smart Diffusers, then R heating and Smart Hangers. This is our new tool that will be released maybe next week. Then we have BIM Tree Manager, very powerful product for managing families that are already used in the project, and for changing the values, for adding additional elements into the project, and for better understanding what you have done with the project. Then we have 3 products under the Sustainable Design Pro. Then we have Cut Opening Pro. This is a solution that can handle with openings, and it creates openings around the duct, pipes, cable traces, conduits in the walls, floor, ceilings, beams, and columns. Then we have Tools for Revit. This is a part of the products that goes for documentation and for modeling. These kind of products, they are very handy. I mean, they are very simple, but at the same time very handy in the daily work. So, like Dynamic Legend, it can go for making legends automatically, and also we have tool for dimensions, for numbering, for sheets, for adding Excel data into the Revit project. Excel to Revit is our new tool. And then we have one part with the name Wood Framing Pro. Here we have again 3 products with one new product. So if you work with the wooden frames, with rafters, trusses, walls, so then it's really perfect solutions. At the same time, it works with the steel frames as well. And today we will talk about a Revit content management solution. Here we have 4 products with the names Smart Browser Free, Smart Browser Simple, Power, and Pro. Today I will try to explain the differences between those 4 products and how to find the best solution for you or for your company. I will start with a general idea of the Smart Browser. So the general idea is that allows you to quickly and easily browse and find Revit families from the library. And it doesn't matter where your library is located. It can be on your local computer, it can be on your server. It depends on the workflow and of your company. So for free version is standalone license, and generally it goes for private users and the small companies. So it's really best solution for working with the families, for finding the families from the library. It's a free of charge license. So it's standalone, and mostly it goes for the private users and for the small companies. Then we have two additional browsers like Powers and Simple. Those installations are network installations, and that solution goes for the companies with over 20 Revit users. So those two installations will allow you to have access to the company library, and with the power user will be able to synchronize the library, he will be able to update the content, and the simple user will be limited. So he will be able just to use the company library, and that's it. So all that three solutions I will show you later in Revit, but right now I will go into the next slide with Smart Browser Pro. With the Pro, you can do all the same things like you can do with other installations, but with the Pro version, you will be able to modify the families. Let's say you are not satisfied with parameter values, with parameters. Maybe you would like to add some standards into your content. You would like to add additional, maybe shared parameters, or you would like to change some text formulas. So all those modifications you can do automatically with Smart Browser Pro. You just need to add the tasks to the families, what you would like to do, and then the tool will make those changes for you automatically. You will not need to do any modifications one by one for every family. It will be an automatic process. Okay, so right now I'm going into Revit. In the case, if you have any questions, you can add your questions into GoToWebinar dialog. In the end of the session, I will try to answer them. So why we have created browsers at all? Actually, it came from the problem when you're trying to insert families into the project. Usually you're going into the load family. Here you have to find you have the library, you have to find families according to folder system, and here you can see just very tiny image of the family, but you can't see any kind of additional information about your content. You never know what parameters are created, what parameter values are, what types are created. And sometimes to find the families, it's very difficult because the families can be placed not into the right places. Well, if it has many users, then some of them can add families not into the right places and not into the right folders. So that's why we created Smart Browser, and with loading Smart Family Browser, you have totally different view. You have families, but together you have parameters and all the types, parameters and parameter values, types of parameters, group of parameters. If there are formulas, then you can see the formulas added into those values. You can see the units. Together in this dialog, you can understand what value is instance and which one is type, because if it's white, then it's instance, if it's gray, then it's type value. And when you decide that you need to have, for example, this family in the project, you can very easily, just with drag and drop, you can put the family into the place you want. So the family will be automatically selected, and you will be able to place the family into any place or into any view. At the same time, Smart Family Browser will work like external application, so you will not need to close the dialog and to open the dialog every time. Right now, in the top corner, here you will be able to switch between your libraries. So this one, the library that I'm showing you right now, is the library that's located on our local server, and it's on the network. So if you have families on the network, it doesn't matter, or if you have them in your local computer, you can use them in different ways from different locations. So now let's start from the beginning, and let's try to find out how to prepare the library. Here I have created a very simple library with the name Hotel Library with several families, and let's try to prepare that library, and let's try to use that with Smart Browser. Actually, it doesn't matter if you will click on Smart Browser Pro or on the Smart Browser, the process will be the same. Right now I'm going into the browser options, and here I have to say where my library is located. So I have to find the library. Now, after pressing Start button, the tool will create additional XML file with all information about your families. So the process would be that the tool will open every family and will read all information about your families. So that information will be stored in one XML file. And here you have to say where that XML file should be located. Right now I will copy the same path. Right now the XML file will be located in the same location. But again, if you have a library on the network, you can put that XML file somewhere on the network. And then also after pressing Start, the tool will create additional PNG and DWF files. So here you have to say where those files should be created. For that, it's recommended to create additional catalog, additional folder for storing such information. And that's it. Right now we can press Start. Here we have to add the company name and the person name who's trying to create that XML file. You can add also a short description and some short notes about your library. And right now, after pressing OK, the tool will prepare the families for me. So right now the tool will open every family and will make XML file for me. So right now we will be able to use the library in our Smart Browser process. That process you have to do just one time. You have to, and just one user from the company has to prepare XML file in the beginning. Later, that XML file can be synchronized, and just one user has to prepare that XML file. All other users will be able to use and select existing XML file from the network. Okay, so that's it. After closing the dialog, we can go into Smart Family Browser. And we can see the families. One more good thing is that with a Smart Family Browser, you can very easily understand if parameters are shared. They will be displayed with a blue color. So now you can know that this parameter can be used in the schedules and in your tags when you will load the family into the project. Now let's look into the left side of the tree. Usually you can see the folder system. Right now in my sample catalog I just have one catalog, so that's why I see that one here. But like I said before, sometimes the folder system is not really good one. And here you can change the browser. You can have the folder system if you want. So it will be the same folders like you have in your original category library. But at the same time, you can say that you would like to look into the real categories. So right now, after pressing OK, the tool will group those families according to the real categories. Another case, you can say that you would like to look into the host type. So after pressing OK now, you will be able to expand your families and look into the categories and then into the host. So right now we know that those mechanical equipments are point-based and they will be placed just on the floor. And those families are wall-based, so it will be placed on the wall when we will put them into the project. I will switch to Autodesk library. And here we have about more than 2,000 families. So now the tool is taking those families and grouping those according to our configuration, according to the category and then host type. And right now, if we will go into our category with the name mechanical equipments, we can find them all, 250, and then we can expand them and filter this ceiling-based or face-based or point-based or wall-based families. So it will be very handy to understand what is the host of the families. At the same time, I would like to say that this week we have released a new version of Smart Browser and Smart Browser Pro, and here we added additional possibility to filter families and to group them according to its version. Yeah, so right now they are up to date, but if I will come back into my previous library, here I will be able to filter my families according to the version that was used. At the same time, if it's needed, you can use unit system or omni-class titles if it's necessary. Then one more thing is that you can make a search, additional search, if it's needed, according to the family name, family type, parameter name, or even parameter value. So you can add any kind of your own parameter, a name or parameter value, and you can make a search. So all that possibilities you can find in the regular Smart Browser that is free of charge and in Smart Browser Pro. You can do all the same things and you can find the same Smart Family Browser. Just in Smart Browser Pro, there is extra possibility where you can modify those families. If you will go with right click, you can find possibility to modify the families. And right now we can pick the families. So let's say we're not satisfied with the parameters and parameter values and we're not satisfied with the type names. So we can go into the modify families. Here we have to add modification name. The person name who's trying to modify the families, and if it's needed you can add some short description and some notes about modifications that you're planning to do. Right now we will get the list of the families with its types in a separate dialog. So right now the family names and types will be displayed like rows and parameters will be displayed as columns. In the left side, we will be able to filter the families according to the category, family, and type. But at the same time, you can change that configuration and you can say that maybe right now I'm not interested in the category, just family names and types. Then with selected parameters, you can go into the dialog where in the left side of the tree, you can find all available parameters that are created in my current selected families. Let's say we will select width and height. Maybe I'm not interested in description and type comments. We will add additionally those parameters and those two. And here in the dialog, we will get detailed description about what situation we have right now with the families. And the situation will be displayed with different colors. If it's gray, then we can know that there is no such parameters in the families, in those families, but it is here in that family. If the cells are white, so then it's instance parameters. And right now we can do changes. So if you want to make some changes, you can use right-click menu. With the right-click menu, you can find possibilities to change the values, copy the values from one family to another. You can delete or rename families. You can add new types, rename types or delete types, and then you can modify parameters. Add new parameters, rename them or delete them, and then make some changes with the formulas. So let's say right now I will select all that column with manufacturer, go into add text formula, and we will add tools for Revit name as text formula. So later it will be like a standard, and in the family, or you can add your own company name, and later the users will be not able to change such value in the project. Then we can make a filter. If you have a big amount of families, you can select the ones you need. You can filter them, and you can change, for example, cost value. All those modifications that you're planning to do will be displayed with a green color, and also all those modifications will be displayed in a separate dialog with a history. So then the tool will save the history and all tasks that you're adding to the families. One more feature that we added into Smart Browser Pro is that you can rename type names with your own configuration. Because till now, if you needed to change the type names, you needed to go into rename type name and just rename the type here. But we did extra functionality in the case if you want to generate type names for all those types that are in the dialog. Because like you see, we can see that the width and height values, they are not really the ones that are used in the type name. And for example, those also has to be created according to the standard. Right now we can select column, go into right click, and here we have rename type name by configuration. And here it's very easy to add your own configuration for the type names. Let's say I will pick width and then height values. We can add some suffix, again some suffix after the height value. So that will be the rule how the type names should be generated. And after OK, the tool will make those type names for me automatically. So it will be very easy to rename the types according to parameters and parameter values that are already used in the family. In the case, if you want to delete the families, you can select the values, go with right click, and you can say that you want to delete such parameters. If you want to add additional parameter, like sash width parameter, into those families, and that parameter has to be the same, like it is here, you can go with the right click, say that you want to add selected parameters, and then the tool will add that parameter to those families automatically, and that parameter will be exactly the same like it is in such family. Then we can filter, we can select all our families, and we can add additional shared parameters. Here we have to open shared parameter file. It's just regular shared parameter file like you use in your projects or in your families. right now you will get the list of parameters that are created in the shared parameter file, and you just need to pick parameters you want to insert. Maybe some parameter will be instance. Again, if you want, you can change the group of such parameter, and after pressing OK, the tool will add those 3 new shared parameters. If I would like to change the value, again, I can add the value like very simply for all families and types. So after adding those modifications, we can close the dialog. We will save the process, and right now we have to run the process. We are going into Smart Browser Pro. If you want, actually, you can come back into modification that you did before, and you can continue with modifying those. But if you're satisfied and if you want to change those families, you can go into Run Save Modifications. You have to select modification that you did before, press OK, and that's it. The tool will open every family and will do those modifications for you. And if we look into the catalog, we will see that the tool is making those modifications for us. So the tool opens every family and it adds additional parameters, or it changes the values, or it renames the type names, and so on. And right now the tool is saving the families into my current Revit version. So right now I work with Revit 2014, so the families will be saved into my current Revit version. Okay, that's it. We did those changes in our families, and we can see that the tool created backup files, and we see that the day and time was changed for those families. Actually, right now you can go into the Smart Family browser and you can continue working with the families. The tool automatically will update those families for you, and you will not need to synchronize those families. We will see those changes immediately in our Smart Family browser. In the case, if you want to delete that backup files, so you can go into browser options, select delete backup files, press on the synchronize, and that's it. The tool will delete that backup files for you automatically. Another way is if you do some let's say if I will add the family into my library, or if I will delete something from the library, then every time when you will go into Smart Browser, it will let you know. It will give you a message near the synchronize, and then you can know that this library has to be synchronized. Also, if you will press on Smart Family Browser, the tool will give you a message about it. And after pressing synchronize, the tool will synchronize the process, and the tool will add extra family, or it will update the families for you. One more feature that you can find in Smart Browser Pro and in the simple and the power versions is that you can find differences between families in the project and families in the library. Here you have to pick the library you want. Let's say I will pick standard Revit library, and after start checking, the tool will find differences between the families in the library and families in the project. That's it. All those differences will be displayed with different colors, and the tool found the differences in 12 families, and there is 31 types. So now with the green color in the type, I can understand that there were created new types of those structural foundations, and also there is created additional shared parameter. Also, here we can see that there is additional parameter that is displayed with the green color. So here you will see very detailed information about changes that are done in the library. And right now you can decide what to do. You can filter the families you want. Maybe you would like to update just windows or pipe fittings, or you can update all families. And you can say that you would like to override parameter values. And with reload families, the tool will reload those families into your project. And that's it. Those 12 families are loaded into my project right now. And now I will be always sure that my families in the project are updated according to the library. One more feature that you can find in Smart Browser Pro or in any other browsers, here we have Project Family Browser. With the Project Family Browser, you can filter and you can find all the families that are loaded into your current project. In such way, it would be very easy to find the category you want, especially if you work in the multidiscipline project. Because if you're trying to find some component, usually architectural and mechanical equipments, they are together under the one command. So here you can very easily find and filter the families according to its family names and types. At the same time, it's very easy to transfer families from one project to another. Let's say right now I will open new project, and you see that Project Family Browser is always here, and I can go through different projects. I can come back into my project 1 and I can filter and see the families in my project 1, but at the same time I can come back into my previous project. I can pick the family I want, and just very easily with drag and drop I can load the family from one project to another. So right now my project 1 will have the family from the previous hotel project. Okay, so right now I'm coming back into my slides. So the biggest difference in Smart Browser Pro is that you have possibility to modify the families, to add the tasks, and to run the process. So right now you will not need to do any modifications one by one for every family. For every family, you can add tasks and you can run the process. As we have released new version of Smart Browser and Smart Browser Pro, I just want to give some points on what main features we added into new version. So one is that we have added version into the browser organization dialog. Then we added possibility to create new type names by configuration. Then we have added possibility to export into Excel formulas in a separate column. It was a request of one of our clients. So right now you can, if you will press export to Excel, so the family, the type and parameter will be exported with a value, but at the same time next to it the formula will be exported as well. And Also, we added detailed report after synchronization process. Because we noticed that when you do synchronization, the browser usually gives you a message that not all families updated or synchronized or added into the browser because of the damages in the families. So right now, after synchronization process, the tool will give you really detailed report about the error and about the damage that is created in the family. So such kind of families, then you have to make a decision. It should be or fixed or eliminated from the library. Because the same message and the same problem you will get when you will try to load the family into the project. So usually such families should be eliminated from the library. From the library. One small improvement in the project browser, we grouped all annotations under one category with the name annotation symbols. And right now I would like to explain the difference and the solution that we have for the companies if you have over than 20 Revit users. Here we have solution with the names for Browser Pro, Power, and Simple. Right now we'll try to explain the difference between them. Let's say we have a library somewhere on the server or in the common location, and here we have a power user. So the power user will have possibility to find and to browse the library. He will be able to use the library. At the same time, he will be able to synchronize the library. He will be able to make his own XML files and create new XML file and synchronize it. Then the simple user will have the same functionalities like the power user, but the simple user will be able just to use the company library and that's it. He will be not able to make any synchronization process. He will be not able to make his own XML files and so on. So he will be a user and he will be a company library user. And those installations are network installations. So those licenses are network licenses. And then here we have Pro user. The Pro user, it can be a standalone or the network license. It depends on the needs of the company. Pro user comes in the case he will be able to use the library, he will be able to make synchronization process, but at the same time he will be able to modify the families. So he will have more functionalities, additional functionalities that will allow him to add tasks to the families. Let's say he would like to add shared parameters, or he would like to change the values, delete parameters, and so on. So he will be Pro user with possibility to modify parameters and parameter values. And let's say if the company has 100 Revit users. So we suggest that maybe about approximately 10 users should be power users, 3 or maybe 5 users should be Pro users, and all others can be just simple. They are just simple users of the company library. So if we look into the functionalities, actually it looks the same, but the difference is only in the browser options. Like you see, for the simple user, the browser options will be limited, and here they will be able just to browse and select the company library, and that's it. And the power user will have all the same possibilities like I was showing you today. He will be able to create new XML file, he will be able to synchronize library, delete backup files, and so on. And if we talk about the installations, so for all the browsers we have 5 types of installations. So one is Smart Browser Free, that is free of charge, and this is standalone license. Like I said before, it's a very good solution for private users and for small companies, and it's really free of charge. And for the companies, we suggest to use simple or power installations, and those are network installations. And the pro installation could be a standalone or network. At the moment, all those installations are just Excel files, but if it's needed, we can do for you or for your company MCI. So the web pages, for Smart Browser Free, we have created separate web page with the name Revit Family Browser. If you will go here, you can very easily download the browser for any Revit you want, any Revit version. You can just very easily download it, and you can have it just for free. And if you're willing to try Smart Browser Pro, you can go into AGA-CAD.com. Here under the BIM Solutions, you can find Smart Browser Pro, and here you can just download trial version of the Pro installation. Right now the Pro version goes for 2 weeks. Regular installation, trial installation, but in the case if you need to extend the trial days, just let me know, and we can extend that trial period for you. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. I really hope that it was useful, and if you have any questions, please add those questions into the questions dialog.